once speaking to somebody and they said 60% of their profit in salon is retail.
Wow.
I thought you must be getting them up at knife point. because out there...
You're taking this Olaplex and this lash and brow conditioning serum.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Season 2 of What the Pluck is proudly sponsored by Nouveau Lashes. So if you're a brow boss like me and you're wanting to expand your business and your income, then you 100% need to add LVL lashes to your treatment menu. Head on over to nouveaulashes.com to find out more. But before you do that, stick around, listen to What the Pluck, as in our mid-episode ad, I might just have a discount code for you. Hello.
What's up, mother pluckers?
Oh,
Have you missed us?
I hope you have.
Oh, I've missed you. To be
I
honest,
know.
we've had a week off recording, and
Yeah.
we just feel a little bit out of sync.
I mean, it's like we're back at episode 1 of season 1.
know.
I don't
just
know what
said
I'm
to-
doing.
I just said to you, I don't even know what intro. I
Yeah.
don't even know sponsors anymore, or what intro I should be doing.
Oh, we are here with another episode. And before we hit record, we were like, what can we say? Because we can't keep saying what we say every episode and be like, we're back. So we're trying really hard not to say it. But here we are
That's a good. That's
with a new episode.
Yes.
Tell us what we're discussing today.
Today we're going to discuss client expectations, how to manage them and things like that, and just basically work out what your client wants and how to give it to them, and make sure that you're both on the same page.
Yeah, because if you don't manage your clients' expectations, it can soon go west.
And I think as well, when you have a big clientele, I think if you've got like quite a small clientele and like a repeat customer of them, that you get an understanding with your clients and you get a relationship with them, so you don't really have to go into too much explaining. But if you are wanting to attract new clients and get like a bigger clientele, and you have new clients come, you do have to start again at scratch and think, I'm going to have to go back to basics here and really explain myself to them. Because I'm sure that we've all had a horror story where we've all had shit clients, haven't we?
At some point.
We've all had a bad client, whereas their expectations and your expectations, basically where you were on two completely different pages.
Yeah.
Have you?
And yeah.
Can you think of any story off the bat?
I tend to get I've had a few clients who, and this is brow wise, they want something that's unachievable.
Yeah.
And me trying to explain to them that, look, you do not have
That brow hair.
that amount of hair.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, but on your Instagram, I've seen the transformation. I'm like, yeah, but that's makeup, and you've just told me you don't want to do makeup. You don't want to have to put makeup in them.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes I just don't quite understand it.
Yeah.
It's like that meme. Have you seen that meme? And like people in hair, you'll probably get this more, where it were like a client shows this picture of Kylie Jenner. It's when she had like platinum blonde hair.
Right.
And it says hairstylist. Well, first of all, that's a wig.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
I've said it before to clients when they've shown me photographs, and I'm like, well, first of all, that's, photoshopped or whatever. You can see it a mile off if they bring you. I mean, I've had the most wildest photographs brought into me. I've had a guy client that's brought me a picture of Paris Hilton from 2000 saying I want my eyebrows like that. I'm like, boo, what planet we're living on here?
Wow.
I know, crazy. Just like, honestly, the pictures that I've had brought in have been mental, but I can't really think of any.
I'm like, we're, technicians, not magicians, love.
Exactly. I have had a client before. Actually, she weren't my client. She was a client of one of the girls who were in the salon, which I had to defend. Because she booked in for her brows tinted and waxed, and the girl did them. And the woman already had black hair. So she had like very dark brow hair.
Yeah.
So obviously all she could put on it were black.
Yeah.
But she insisted she wanted them tinting. Well, when obviously she were like, well, there's no difference. And I'm like, but she did explain this to you before, that there weren't going to be really any difference. And then she said, no, there's no staining on my skin. And I was like, what you mean is henna brows.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, you should explain before that this is not henna brows. And I was like, well, really, you should know what you're asking for. You know, it's just a miscommunication.
Yeah.
So I can't really think of anybody else. I think I probably will have had clients in the past that expectations are, I think, like lip filler clients, you know, for some reason they don't think that they're going to swell and bruise and look horrendous maybe the next day. Like,
Me.
Yeah, you love.
Me, I'm like, can we do my lips on Saturday before we go out? Like, you'll not be able to tell, will you? I'll be fine one. And she's like,
I get this. I get clients lay down on the bed and say to me, I'm going to be all right to go out though, aren't I? I'm going to be all right to put makeup on and lipstick, aren't I? And I'm like, yeah, in about 3 days. And they're like, no, I'm going out tonight. They're booking on a Saturday afternoon and they've got a bottomless brunch booked at like at 5. Do you know what I mean? And I think, hello, like.
Oh, funny. But it is like, and I'm sure you all listening, you'll have had similar experiences. But we're going to go through some kind of like advice and some tips on like things you can do to like, first of all, manage your clients' expectations, but also ensure that you don't find yourself in those situations as much.
Yeah.
So I would say even just like stripping it right back, never mind what treatment they're having and what they're asking for, like you want to be looking at like, are your opening hours online, like, and the hours that you're going to be contactable. We've made episodes about this before, about like clients messaging you at random hours. Just by having them times on, it's kind of saying to that client straight away, this is when I'm working, this is when you're going to reply.
Yeah. Like automated messages coming through saying, you know, me opening hours are such and such.
Yeah.
I think as well, a big thing for me, I have people a lot of the time will sit down in my chair and say, I need to be out for school run. I need to be out for this time. And so ideally you need to make it clear, if it's a new client especially. I mean, if it's your regular clients, you don't have to really have this problem because they know how long you take. But I think if it's a new client, you need to make them aware of how long the appointment's going to take. So maybe if you have, you know, treatments online, where they can book online, put obviously the time roughly that it's going to take. But also if they sit in your chair, just say, this treatment's going to be about like maybe like 30, 45 minutes. Is that all right? Are you all right for time? Because you don't want to be rushing. There's nothing worse. And we've all had to do it.
Yeah.
We've all had to do it. Like I had to do an LVL literally so fast. I was like running. I was running round the bed. And I was like, if you can hear me moving fast, this is just because I am rushed and I'm thinking about your kids stood outside school, not having anybody to pick them up. But at least you got amazing lashes. Yeah, make them aware of how long roughly that time's going to take and how long you're going to be there. Nobody wants to be rushing these perfect brows and thinking and not feeling 100% happy with your work and then charging full price for them.
Yeah.
So, no.
I think as well, like when it comes to price, like a lot of people hate talking about money.
Yeah.
And like, you know, retailing and stuff like that, but make sure your clients are aware of the treatment cost before you start.
Yeah, if the new clients, definitely make sure, you know, like, and also I think as well, tell them what kind of payment method you are using. If you are cash only, if your client turns up with their card and then say if it's a new client, God forbid they're going to say, oh, I'll just nip to the cash machine and then don't come back. I've had that done once.
Have you?
Yeah. And my mum confronted her. Like she saw her somewhere.
Go on, Anne.
I know. It was about like 6 months later or something. Yeah, that happened. My mum went up to her, like, and said, "Do you know that them nails that you had done?
Get you sent down to Ali's and get that paid."
You didn't come back, did you? She said, I sent my friend with money. And my mum went, well, she never came back with it. So my mum said, I mean, you couldn't walk in Tesco's, could you, and fill your basket with like 40 quid worth of stuff and just walk out? It's theft.
Yeah.
So like, crazy.
When I worked in salon, I used to be like so blasé about it. And looking back now, like I don't think I would do it. I just used to be like, Oh yeah, there's a cash shop. Just go to Toppet Street, up into like shopping centre, like yada yada. Just like waltz back in like an hour later, saying, "Oh, while I nipped in the Top Shop." That's how long ago it was.
Yeah,
nipped in Top Shop, H&M, and then they'd drop cash off, and I'd be like, "Yeah."
It's all
and
right.
now I think,
yeah.
What the hell were I doing?
Yeah, you've got to make it clear on what payment method you are doing, definitely, and how much it's going to cost, because you can't risk that happening.
No. And I think with treatments as well, obviously, it depends what treatment they're having. Is it nails, hair, brows, lashes, extensions, whatever it is? Kind of find out and ask as many questions as to what it is they're actually wanting.
Yeah.
And I said to clients, bring in some pictures.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times a client's come in for brows with me and they've said, you know, I think I want them like, we're a bit of an arch, but I quite like them when they're like flatter as well.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Or I don't want them too like big, but I won't mind, you know, I quite like them as big as yours. And I'm like, well, my brows are big. Yeah. So with pictures, I'll say, show me like 4 or 5 different sets of brows or whatever it is. And then I can kind of see a pattern without the client usually even noticing that that's that pattern that they want.
Yeah, we used to say that a lot in HD, didn't we? When we used to teach for HD, we used to be like, get them to bring you pictures. So then, because what is thick to us or big to us is not to others, do you know, like in terms of like brows or anything like that. So, and definitely with colours. You know, like when somebody says dark, what's is dark? Like, what's dark?
Silly.
Yeah, silly.
We've not said it all episode. Silly.
It's my tagline. That I love it.
So funny.
So yeah, you know, you need to refer back to pictures, so you're both seeing a visual. And yeah, you both can agree on something.
Pictures of your own work as well, because a lot of people in the industry don't like clients bringing in pictures because they're like, you're setting yourself up for your client to ask for something that's unrealistic because it's on a celebrity and it suits their face shape or their skin tone or their whatever. Where I think for pictures, it's important because I can take so much more from a picture and a client saying, I like these 3 pictures.
Yeah.
Than a client trying to explain something they've got no clue about.
Yeah. And also, like, find out where they want to end up. Like, in an ideal world, we're not talking about this appointment. We're talking about, like, in an ideal world, where do you eventually want, like, either your hair or your nails or, like, your skin or, like... lashes, brows, whatever industry you're in, where do you want it eventually to be? Do you want your brows eventually to have no makeup in them?
Yeah.
Do you want your lashes to be longer and fuller? If you do, we've got a product for you.
Yeah.
So this then gets you obviously sales in terms of if you're selling any retail products, such as like, you know, growth serums or anything like that, or if they're wanting to make their brows, you know, like in good condition. If you're in hair, Olaplex, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just all these different things that you can then tie in to retail. If they want, I mean, you know, if people are saying eventually I want to get no brow makeup on in there, right? Okay, well, we're going to start a plan. You're going to come back to me every 6 weeks, and you're not going to touch your brows in between while you're doing that appointment. While you're doing that journey, here's a product that's going to make your brows grow to help you.
And it's quite an easy way to link into retail, because I think in our industry, we should do an episode on retail. Yeah. Because in our industry, a lot of people don't like doing it and shy away from it.
Yeah, they are embarrassed about doing it.
Yeah, and you've just explained it, like finding their end goal. Yeah. And then a solution as to how you're going to get there. Retail naturally falls into it, and that's a really easy way to sell.
Yeah. Yeah. And I always, well, actually, I'm going to save this for the retail episode then. I'm going to give some retail tips then. But we'll save it. We'll save it, okay? I'm going to save that. But would anybody, I mean, let us know if you want to. Yeah. And also, let us know if you want to hear it. And also, tell us how you retail.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to know how you guys retail. Let's all feed off each other. Yeah. I was speaking to somebody, and they said 60% of their profit in salon is retail.
Wow.
I thought you must be getting them up at knife point. because out there.
You're taking this Olaplex and this lash and brow conditioning serum.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, I've got your card.
We're northern.
But yeah, episode on retail, 100%. Because I mean, I do a bit of retail, but tell us how you retail, because I want to learn as well.
All right, love, I'll tell you.
All right.
Yeah.
Another one. So your attitude can completely change the mood
100%.
when you're just like working with a client.
100%.
And it's like how you are with a regular client. I mean, I'm crazy. Do you know what I mean? But with brand new clients,
yeah,
it's like a different
person. Yeah,
Different
you're professional.
person.
Because sometimes you've got to feel that vibe from them.
Yeah.
Is this a person you can be jokey with and talk about, what you did at weekend? Or nothing explicit, but like, or is this a person that, like you just want to be like prim and proper in front of? You need to get a feel for them. So I think everybody who walks through the door needs to have the exact same experience. If you're having a shit day, put it aside. Like your attitude, even the way, even your manner of speaking to them. If you are abrupt, like even just be like, just even in your phone conversations, like, or your messages or whatever back and forth, you can instantly make somebody like be a bit standoffish.
Yeah.
If you are irritated by what they're trying to explain to you as well, in terms of what they want, they're not in our industry. They don't know
the
how
lingo
to,
and stuff.
Yeah, they don't know how to explain to us what they want their brows like. If we're talking about like, do you want a flat brow? Do you want a fluffy brow? 9 times out of 10, my clients will go to me, I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah.
Don't they?
Just do whatever.
Just do whatever you think you know best.
Yeah.
Like, and they can't, because they can't explain it to you. And I'll say, well, no, what do you think? Like, let's talk about like what you want. Whose brows do you like? Have you got any pictures? And stuff like that. Because I think as soon as you're like, oh, well, like if you get a bit aggy and you're a bit like, well, what do you want?
Yeah.
I used to think of this when this used to happen a lot when I used to go into Mac. This is just an example, right? I used to go into Mac and I used to buy a lot of makeup from them, because obviously I used to do makeup, wedding makeup and stuff like that. So I used to buy crap loads of makeup from there. And they were always very like, you needed to know what you wanted.
Yeah.
Because they weren't willing to explain it to you.
Yeah.
Because they were all, like, no offence to anybody that's worked at Mac, but at the time, Mac was the place to work. Like, everybody aspired to work at Mac if you did makeup. So they were very like the it girls, mean girls as well, sometimes if you went in. So they were, because, like, sometimes you go in and they were very like, it depended who you got, but they were very like, they're not here to help you. And it put me off going.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to help me. I had to go in and say, I want NC whatever and this, and know what I wanted.
You had a question, you wanted to be like, oh, I've got this. What's best product to go with this to give me this look, and yada yada. They just were...
Not bothered. Just shut off. So I just thought, do you know what? I'm not even bothering going in. Yeah. So, yeah.
And
that's the end of my relationship with Mac.
Oh, right. Quick break?
Yeah, might as well.
Right, see you in a sec. The new LVL Cera Lash Lift system from Nouveau Lashes is a breakthrough in lash health. The new system contains an all-new step to ensure that lashes stay in tip-top condition every time you have an LVL treatment. The LVL Cera Lash Balance pH Reconstructor gently restores the natural pH levels of the lashes, stopping the chemical process and helping to restore the lash cuticle.
Nouveau Lashes always put lash health first, and for the rest of season 2, they are offering 10% off on LVL training and an LVL conversion course. So what you need to do to get that offer is head on over to nouveaulashes.com and enter the code WTP10 at the checkout. And getting back to the expectations of clients and meeting them, I think as well, you need to not be scared to tell them that sometimes what they pink sometimes what they pick or what they want is not always suitable for them.
Yes.
So remember that it's your work on their face.
Yeah.
Okay. So it don't really matter. Yeah, in a way, kind of meet in the middle about what they want. But you know, if somebody's saying to me, if they're, you know, like an ice queen and they're snow white blonde and things like that, and they're saying, I want my eyebrows basically like blue black.
Yeah.
And I want them really thick or whatever. You know, try and advise them on, you know, let's start off going we can slightly get there, slightly darker. They're not always right.
Yeah.
I know there's this big thing like the customer is always right. No, they're not.
They're not.
They're not.
And Harriet proves
What,
to
love?
me that I'm not always right because I have
Yes.
first-handed.
Yes.
Is that it? First-handed witnessed.
I've
I've witnessed this firsthand.
That's it.
When I had a little youthful makeover, let's call
it. Oh, it
it.
was a makeover.
Yeah,
It were a
and I
makeover.
wanted more
Oh.
and more and more injectables,
Yeah.
and she just said no. To which I wanted to drop kick her because I thought, you are my best friend. Get it in my face now. And she won't. So yeah, I was really mad. But when the results came through, I thought,
Yeah.
wow, I look fantastic. And if I'd have had any more,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have looked fantastic.
And you still do. You still try it now. You still send me pictures of ridiculously deformed people from filler because they just look deformed. Like, and I'm like, no. I just put back to him, absolutely no way, never. No. No. I might give you a little bit more now.
I texted other week and I was like, so I think I want a bit more fill on my cheeks. And she texted me back saying half a mil each side. I just said, oh, it's stupid, pointless.
No point.
Silly, no point. And just moved on. Pointless. So she is, quick to put me in line, and I think that's how you need to be with your clients.
Because we need, and I do this a lot with filler clients, especially. I will say to them, when they're saying to me, "Oh, do you think I need some more in my lips?" and I'll go, half mil max.
Yeah.
And then, or if I do the lips and they've got plenty in, I'll say, I don't want to see you for another six months to a year.
Yeah.
Like we're done now. So let's not do it.
You do it because I recommend a lot of people to you anyway, like brows and stuff, but all like filler, lips, but everything. Everyone who I've recommended to you have all said how at some point you've refused to do more, or refused for them to come back so soon for more.
Yes.
But everyone who I've recommended and who's told me this have all said that's what they like.
That's why they want to come.
That's what they love about coming to you for it.
Thanks, Val.
Because you're not just going to take the money and run.
No, it's not. For me, it's not. It is in this industry. It's about for money.
Yeah.
But it's not about money for me. It's about building a reputation and a brand and a name.
Yeah.
So that's what we're in this industry for.
And like you said, it's your name that's on that work. If you just
our name on that
pumped
face.
in 3 mil of filler into someone's lips because that's what they wanted. I mean, first of all, they'd explode. But and then they went around and they were like, oh yeah, Harriet's back.
Has done it.
That's who does my lips. It then looks bad on you.
Of course.
So you have got to.
Or over-processed brow lamination, or over-processed LVLs if they've got snapped-off lashes, oh, no.
Yeah, you have sometimes got to rein them in and just, we know best.
We do know best. We do. And I think as well, when you're in that, you'll get clients that are quite nervous and stuff. This is probably when you're doing aesthetics as well, but maybe even when they're having their eyebrows done or even LVL, you've got to make that client feel safe. You've got to make that client feel reassure them that you do, obviously you know what you're doing, you've been in the industry a long time or whatever. Just make them feel that environment, make them feel safe, because sometimes it is really nerve-wracking for somebody, especially if you've got a home salon, a new client coming to you and coming in your home or in your salon or in your space, it's not everybody's as confident as each other. So to make them feel like little things like offering them a drink or whatever, or you know what I mean? Like it's just about making them feel safe and stuff, definitely. And I mean, what is crucial always is if you need a consultation, it's got to be.
Oh yeah.
It's got, even if this is like microblading and stuff like that. I usually will get my clients come to see me before. Well, but they need a patch test anyway. But so they come for the patch test. But I like to have a little consultation and a run through of what they are.
Then
yeah, of what they're wanting.
Yeah, consultation is key, and I think on everybody's first appointment with you should be at least like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If it's for like brows or lashes, something like that, not obviously microblade or anything, that might be a little bit longer, or filler and stuff. But I always do a really in-depth consultation that first visit because after that, I can do it in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Because I've got it all written down. Yeah. We went through absolutely everything on that first visit. So their first appointment, I might have to add an extra 10 minutes. But then every appointment after that is just so much quicker because I've got in such detail their end goal, allergies, what they're wanting, what they use at home, what they do, literally everything.
And aftercare.
Yeah.
Aftercare is massive. You have got to, because the treatment, what you've done, and the results, what you give, they're only as good as the aftercare. They need to know how to look after that at home. Yeah. If you're waxing somebody's brows and they're going for a skin peel after, or they go straight on sunbed. Do you know what I mean? This happens. I did somebody some laser tattoo removal. They went on sunbed straight after. You've never seen it. Burnt an hole, basically. We just burnt nearly a hole in the wrist, and I was like,
my God.
I did tell you to not go on sunbed. And they went, I know, but I just put my watch over it. And I was like, well, clearly not.
Yeah, clearly it didn't work.
Yeah. So, aftercare is really important, and, what to say, and make sure they understand everything you're giving them. Write it down, have it on pieces of paper, have it printed out for, treatments and stuff. If it's, if they're a first time client.
And have like really good communication with them as well throughout that consultation. It's not just about us talking to them about what we can do, how good we are, and what's going to look best on them.
Yeah.
They need to be involved. They need to be answering the questions as much as they will say to you, do whatever you think, you know best.
Yeah.
I use set to some of mine if I kind of like gauge that I can have a bit of a joke with them. I'll be like, right, should we wax them all off then?
Yeah. Because they say to you, do whatever you want. Yeah.
And I'll say, so you know what you don't want, so maybe let's start with that.
Yeah.
And then we'll, eliminate all of that, and we should be left with what you actually want. You just don't know how to tell me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing actually to start by saying what they don't want. What don't you want them to look like? That is really good. And I also want to know, like, if I'm getting a client in my chair for whatever treatment, I want to know the history of this. Like, I want to know, what have you been doing to what do you do to your lashes now?
Here?
Yeah. Well, I always say, if it's a new client, I'm like, so how did you hear about me?
Yeah.
I'm always like, do I do somebody? 9 times out of 10, it's somebody that I know. Yeah. They're like, oh, somebody's done towards their brows or whatever. But I think, it's gone from my mind now, what I was saying about it. Oh, yeah. So I want to know, like, the history of, like, what do you do to your brows? How often have you been having them done? What have you ever had, like, have you ever had a burn with wax, or have you ever had anything? Like, what products do you use on them? I want to know everything. It's only the same if you're a hairdresser and you sit down at an hairdresser's. They want to know everything what you've used on your hair. Well, some do. So, like, I want to know everything. That gives me an in-depth consultation and understanding. And do you know what, as well? If you're just not gelling with a client and you're not, their expectations are out of your reach, right? And they're wanting something that's not achievable at all. Don't be afraid to make that cut and just be like, do you know what? What you're wanting, I can't give you.
Yeah.
So instead of wasting your money, because I
I had this exact thing other day.
Did you?
Yeah. Someone had booked in, mine's all online. So they'd booked in, she'd text me about getting a patch test. And then in the text message, she went on to say that she has booked in for an express because that's all she could, only appointment she could find free.
Okay.
Before her holiday.
Right.
She then told me that she'd been growing her brows out for the past couple of months because she went somewhere and they were just so unsymmetrical and yada, yada, yada. Sent me some pictures. And I had to be really just like honest with her and say, you booked in for the wrong appointment.
You need a full...
I will wax around what you've got, and what you've currently got is unsymmetrical brows.
Yeah.
If you want me to work on symmetry and get them to a better place,
we need a full HD.
A full HD, not just because, of one, it's more expensive or there's more things included. Time.
Yeah.
My express is 15 minutes.
Yeah.
By the time I've tinted and then done your consultation, tried to even tackle the symmetry and map everything out.
Yeah. It's just
your appointment's gone.
Yeah, definitely.
And I had to be really honest with her. And I did end up, with my last client, so I said, look, let's get you booked in for HD. I'll extend. I'll just stay and do it. I'm at home.
I'll just stay.
I'll just have to stay at work. And I'll do it. But afterwards, she was like, thanks so much for explaining. Even though it's all on Booksy, it's all there. It says
we
what
do
it
think
is.
that they automatically...
She was like, I'm really happy that you've told me because I would have turned up and probably then left a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Because I'd not got what I wanted.
Yeah.
So it definitely does work to have them conversations, even when it might feel a bit awkward.
I've had clients that have come for microblading as well, and when I've said to them, tell me the history of your brows, like what have you been doing to them? Or I've been having HD for 2 years, been having HD brows for 2 years, and they've got one row of hair. And I'm just like, who has been doing that? Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think somebody has either, just thought, well, it's 30 quid every 4 weeks, or, or 25 quid every 4 weeks, or they've just not really had the balls to say to them, this is not working for you.
Yeah.
But because they don't offer microblading, they've never then thought, I don't want, they'll probably like, I don't want to recommend this client to go anywhere else because I'm getting this money. But it's just better to be just honest. Yeah. And because I did say to her, well, HD is just not the treatment for you at all. You should have had this done 2 years ago.
And it's even if they don't want to recommend, which, why?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Microblading for me, I send people to you.
I know, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, you should have just dropped them down to a tint and wax. And I know you are making that deduction in money, but your diary's then going to have a gap for somebody else. So you can actually fit 2 clients in and make more money.
Yeah, definitely.
Think about it that way. And I think be transparent as well about the process and like whatever treatment it is. If somebody comes in and they're wanting this end goal and we've found that out in the consultation, like, great, amazing, we've got that goal. Be transparent on how long it's going to take until you get there. Because the amount of times I'll do a consultation and I'll say, we need to work on growing this in, they'll come back in like 4 weeks, 8 weeks, and they expect 6-7 rows of hair to have grown in and they look like Cara Delevingne. And I'm like, that ain't how it works.
No.
So again, be transparent with them about the process, and you can't obviously put a time frame as such on it. You can't just say, yeah, your brows will be looking, great in 6 months. Yeah. But, work with him in baby steps and do it that way.
Definitely.
Anything else that you want to add?
You know what? I don't think so.
No.
I think I'm all recommendationed out.
I mean, only other thing I would say is for brand new clients who are brand new to a treatment as well. So if someone comes in and says, I've never had a lash lift,
you need to talk them through
LVL,
steps, do you mean?
Talk them through it.
Yeah.
Especially LVL.
They freak out. Amazing
treatment, but you're laid there for half hour, 40 minutes now with the new Ceralash system with your eyes shut. Yeah. And I'm very, very nosy. So it even pains me, and I know what's going on.
Yeah.
But, it talk them through the steps.
Because a lot of people as well, I mean, I've had some people, when you put the shields on, they've been a bit panicky.
Yeah.
Because you're coming close to their eye, and a lot of people are not comfortable with having things on their eyes, and they get panicky thinking they can't open their eyes. Yeah. And I'm like, no, you would be able to.
Yeah.
But just for safety, don't.
Done. Yeah.
Like, just because it fumes and stuff, don't. But you would be able to. And they're like, what happens if I open my eye? Will I go blind? They do. They're like, what will happen? And I'm like, well, nothing. You'll
Open
just
it and
be
try.
able to. Yeah. Open it, love, if you want. Let's find out. I don't know. Let's find out together.
Oh, God. But yeah, talk them through it and they'll be right.
They will.
They will. They'll be right.
Right.
Oh.
Well, then.
And talking of being right,
We're done.
we're done.
Right, then.
Right then.
Let's go for a Sunday dinner now.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So don't forget, guys, if you are wanting 10% off LVL lash training and LVL conversion courses, head on over to their website, nouveaulashes.com, and enter the code WTP10.